Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. I'm losing my voice. Again, that's a good start of a video. So, there's more good start of this video. Not so good start, kind of. The tunneling machine is broken. Not really broken. So, I was able to finally get through that mountain. Back there. I need to name the antenna. And brought the tunneling machine through that and got to the next point where I made a small cut, and then I wanted to drive up it and onto it, and suddenly this back wheel broke off, and now I have to get the whole thing in order again, and I decided to get rid of the suspension, or not the suspension, the moving parts, and maybe use fixed wheels. I will try to go with more wheels, so I will put some on the inside too, maybe not around the machine, so the main part of the machine. So I might omit this part. Yeah, maybe just this thing. I'm not sure. I have to see how well it, once it is back on its wheels again, how well stuff would fit in there. The big problem is this thing is still loaded with millions of kilos of stone, and that needs to go away now. And I think I need to go a bit harsher on this, and I think we need to go and say we need to throw out the stone. As much as I don't like it, I like having the stone because I need bridges, and if I do more bridges, then we definitely need more stone. But the problem is right now the stone is not working in our favor, because the big problem that I have right now is that I need to upright the machine. I need a piston to be able to lift the whole thing, and it is not. The whole thing is just too heavy right now. Also, this wheel needs to go now. This is clang par excellence, and that needs to go away. We can replace that later. So what I want to do is I want to kind of bring it up with a piston, then hopefully be able to move it a bit back. Maybe I can do that now anyways. Hopefully the wheels are strong enough to just pull the whole thing at least a bit back, so we can lift it up in the end and not end up in the wall there. I have the hopes that with normal wheels we get around some of the problems that this thing has with the high weight of the stone. We might get more traction, and we might not end up with crazy clang problems. Again, this thing was, don't know, you can see that the whole rotor is still there. There some force was so high that it kind of just ripped this thing up there, and I want to get rid of that and then add more wheels to balance the whole weight stuff a bit more. So I saved it, and now I unsaved it because the whole thing just pushed itself again into a position where I don't want it. Let us wait until the stone is out of there, and we can do a small tour back to the tunnel and take a look at how that looks. The tunnel was finished don't know, after the last recording, it was only a few 100 meters more. Then there was a tunnel. It's great. And it came out in a good position where the trucks and all the rovers are able to just drive into the next area. And I scouted a bit ahead to find a nice way up the plateau. I decided to go around some mountains and to directly drive up to the main plateau and then maybe drill a way into this thing. I don't want to go through more mountains, build more bridges or anything like that. I'm trying to just get around now all the areas where I would have to do long more drilling than I really want. The plateau will be its own set of problems because I will have to go really flat into that thing, and I'm not sure how well that works out in the end, but I hope that I'm able to just get it done. So here you can see the tunnel is done. By the way, this rover's dealing with the whole issue of the tunnel relatively well. You can see how crazy it moves, but driving to the other side is a lot easier because the ridges are longer. Kind of you can see that one side of the voxels there is a lot flatter, kind of, and the other is a bit more steep. The trucks are still there. They are at the moment parked, and maybe I can bring the front truck in and just maybe we bring the front truck in and bring it closer to the mining machine so that we can use the resources that thing has maybe too.
Fuel.
Let's see how well this thing goes through the hole there. Through the tunnel. It should be good. Again, this at the moment really just relies on its wheels, has no thrusters on here, and it does its job relatively well. The only problem that we could run into now is that that some of the wheels might clang out and we kind of vanish into the ground.
No fuel.
That might be an issue that happens to us, but I hope that we can get around it for now. So you can see this thing
No fuel.
works out really well right now. Except for the lady telling us that we don't have any fuel. Problem is we have reactors on board and they don't have any uranium in there now. So again, we move relatively slow, try to avoid
No fuel.
just stopping. We need to just go and not it could be too dark right now. Let me see if I can turn on give the spotlight some more oomph. Yes, more oomph. Maybe if we move them a bit to the front, that might help too. Nah, it doesn't help. Okay, one thing I will have to deal with is the amount of antennas I have around now. The traffic markers have antennas, and I kind of want to limit their range so that they don't see each other, and that maybe I can arrange it in a way where I have to drive towards one to see it in the end, and that could be a way to not have to deal with all the antennas that are around. We see that there's Mars orbit, and we see everything that that is sitting in orbit right now, and all the machines have antennas, and now the small rovers have antennas, and we need to get rid of that. So you can see this truck does a really nice job. I have to say it works a lot better than the first one I've built. Even carrying the small rovers, and again the thing is not having so many highly interesting subgrids on it makes it a whole lot easier too. Okay, let me bring the truck up to the mining machine. Hope that thing didn't explode while we were away. So you can see I emptied out the whole thing, and now I'm trying to lift it up with pistons to be able to fit some wheels below it, so that I can safely drive it backwards down this hill basically, and don't smash it up, kind of. The big problem is that the pistons are clangy as well, so when I try to lift it and, for example, turn on the shear inertia dampeners, inertia tensors and all that stuff, then they just vanish into the ground and all these things. So I have to put multiple pistons on here, I have to have multiple ones push, and then I can try to lift up the whole thing. It's a bit weird, but hopefully it is worth the effort. Again, this whole thing needs just now 2 more wheels in the back, and then everything should be good. I need to be able to set this one up, and then be able to set this one up. Then I should be able to just drive it at least a bit safer off this hill, and then work somewhere where I can do this. This is completely unnecessary. I don't know, it's the suspensions work fine in my opinion, but if you have something that weighs millions of kilos, then maybe don't use them. I'm not sure. Again, I'm trying now with normal wheels, a normal setup, multiple wheels, and I will try to also fix some wheels basically again underneath the whole thing, so that I hopefully am able to push more weight. Yeah, we are able to set up this, and then we should be able to at least put the wheelbase on. That is right. We need left. We need to push it up a bit more. We need to push it up a bit more. Are you able to get a wheel? Yes. The next big problem that we have is that we could be constantly under attack by things. There could be incoming drones. I had some more still while I was still working on the machines back back on the other side of the mountain. It was not fun. The drones are not fun to deal with. There is some of the drones that are, in my opinion, exceedingly dangerous. I had one drone just come in, no weapon was able to stop it. That thing started to shoot at me, and then at one point it came out of the sky, but it took a while. And whenever that happens, some of the grids might sustain damage that I don't want to repair. Okay, push up. I need a wheel here, and then we should be able to just move it. Okay, that's nice. Come on, push a bit more. We had some problems with pistons on the server, and here I see the same. The pistons, if they get too much pressure basically from the sides, if something, come on, if the force is not directly translated into the piston, but is maybe a bit diagonal or something like that, that comes from the side, then the piston just stops working, and I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. But now we have the wheels, so we should be able to bring the whole thing down and then maybe reverse it off the mountain. Do you hear the beautiful clang noises that are happening? It's frightening. But it should be good. And the next thing is I don't have to deal with the script then anymore. I should be able to park that thing, and it shouldn't immediately just... Okay, they immediately just go fully into the dampeners. Let's bring it slowly up so that this thing doesn't jump too crazy. Power, we can deal with that. Can deal with this. Friction. Oh, right. Okay. Let's test if we can reverse it, at least out of this position. To maybe somewhere that we can work a lot better on it. Whoa, that looks dangerous. But it works. Yeah, it's again, I'm playing around with everything here that, yeah, then also I would say entitled using normal wheels. So you can see that that's basically park this. I will show you the way I want to use. So we basically get over this, come around here, and then we go around this bend, and there's the plateau. So this should be the area there where we then cut in. So to get up the plateau there. Hopefully that works out. It should be easier. The problem is that in the back there we have no, not here. We cut there because there's basically a valley that runs through this area, and if we cut up here, then we are on the plateau, can go straight to should be able to just go straight to the North Pole. So this here, this curve, then back to here, and then maybe start somewhere here. Maybe we can just drive up there. I'm not sure. I wasn't there, but I kind of saw this way. Good. Now I need to repair the tunnel machine, bring that up to speed again, see if I need to cut a bit more. somewhere, and don't know, maybe if I can and just drive the tunnel machine up there, I will go to the area where we want to work, and I will see how that works out. Again, this thing needs a touch more work, and then I will be back with you. The weight distribution of this thing is a lot nicer, I say. It handles a lot better. I had to set up some things for some of the wheels with inverted steering and all that stuff, but at the moment we are just under wheel power, and this thing drives really well. Yeah, one thing I most of the time do is to not have enough wheels on things. So I've stuffed, one thing I realized is that I can't put a lot of wheels below the whole thing, because the wheels, the 5x5 big grid wheels, just stick out too much. So I've put some here in the back. There they should be helpful, and when there's more weight on the whole thing, and so if I need more, I can attach more now. That should be possible. It's just under wheel power with all the friction, all the power, not too much speed, so it doesn't go too crazy. With the thrusters, it just flies. That is really, really cool. I need to find my way now to where I want to start drilling. You can see that it gets slower once it is in a weird angle or something like that, but it has enough power to ride up most of the hills here, and that's what I want to see. The thing is, now I need to be careful that I still make cuts where I think cuts are needed, because now it doesn't matter for this machine or for the second truck. First truck, that's the thing that really needs all the help now, getting up hills, getting down hills, and all that stuff. So I will have to be careful to not think now that I'm, because this thing is now a lot more mobile and the other truck is a lot more mobile, that this thing, that the first truck might then in the end get hang-ups, and I don't want that to happen, kind of. So this should be flat enough even for the other truck. So I will drive to maybe there and then assess the situation again, and maybe find a good place to make a bit of a cut so that I don't have too steep hills to climb, something like that. Although the other the trick here is the weight of the things. So more wheels. So if you have a lot of weight, you need more wheels, and all that stuff. So maybe I can get the first truck is also relatively light now because it doesn't have a lot of stone in it anymore. A lot of the materials are gone, so we might be able to just try it, but I want to be able to drive back with maybe some ice and all that stuff. So yeah, I will have to think about certain things. Good. Let me try to find a way through this. Maybe make another cut. I could make a cut up this mountain or up this hill here, go through there, and then maybe that's a good idea. This thing looks really steep. If I can make this a bit easier to just traverse, that would be great. And one thing I really like is that the handbrake works now. The one thing with the subgrid stuff is that the handbrakes don't really work. That's problematic. So here, over this, yeah, I might make another cut and then go through there, through there, or maybe there. Yeah, smaller cuts and then go through that. This will also mean that I maybe need to make another marker here, and then at one point I will take a rover, drive the whole area, around the whole area, and set the markers in a way where they don't where you can't see them all at once, let's say it that way. So there's 2 days between the last recording and this one, and you can see I don't know what happened. I watched it back, and I still have to organize my recordings in a way where I can watch them back. It's a weird thing. I record the game audio basically as the first track, and as the second track the the voice, so that when I record and want to watch that back just with the Windows video tool, I don't hear my voice. I have to change it, and that's just so much work. Everything's fine, but I started to drill into this mountain again. Takes longer than suspected again, but I've set up the timer. This time we should be able to use the timer. The last time in the long tunnel, the timer at one point stopped. The timer didn't stop working, but the whole area where I drilled was so far away that the drill and fill systems didn't pick up. So the timer pushed the area forward and forward, and nothing happened at that point. I brought in the trucks and the small rovers. Everything is here now. Good thing. We have an antenna back there somewhere. Again, that is not visible from here right now because I cut all the antenna ranges, all that stuff. I think I did that on video. I'm not sure. I have new toys to play with. The last 2 days I got sick. That's why I don't know. Everything is not working, and it seems my doc says it seems to not be the big thing right now, but hopefully a common cold. But I don't feel well. Let's say it that way. To me, it doesn't really matter. No, it matters, but yeah, I will stay at home as usual and not visit my older family members, all that stuff. Self-isolating even more. It's not nice, but again, gives me time to play. I have new toys, and staying here gives me the time to play with them. So for once, Iron Hospital. Ooh, isn't that nice? That is a phalanx system, and the phalanx system is something I wanted to have usually everywhere. I tried to replicate it in Starmade. I always wanted to have one here, but the problem is it is just too big to build kind of with blocks. So I'm happy that Iron Hospital made one for us. It's basically just a normal turret. It is a reskin kind of. It looks really great. I love it. And I finally figured out to play with Weapon Core. Can't test the results right now, but I will do some more with it. This is Otto McDonough's laser stuff, weapons stuff. I have some mods that use Weapon Core. That's a new Is it an API? I don't have any clue. People that know their stuff will let me know. But it's basically a new way the game handles weapons, and it gives options where you can, for one, define the weapons as a model, can define the weapons, what they are used for. For example, the PDX turrets. These are PDX turrets. Some of my viewers that are longer with me might remember them from Automacdonna's laser systems, where again there were a way to defend your ship. So they are small anti-missile turrets, basically, or against smaller targets like characters. I really like the design. That's a really cool design for them. And these, you can take a look, these don't work as normal turrets anymore. So they don't have all the options that normal turrets would have. Give me a sec. So you can just set an aiming radius, you can control them, that works. You can change some things with the damage, but everything else, weapon core has to set. And weapon core is, again, an underlying thing that controls some of the weapons that I have now. So for one, there's gimbal. The gimbal lasers are back, the fixed lasers, Automacdonna. Then I have really big railgun turrets. I have the, faux hammer, the faux hammer railgun from, here it is, from The Expanse. And I have the octobeam turrets back, and I think I have one thing. I'm not sure if I have brought it in. I might have brought it in. There is... the problem is the list of mods. Now I would have to figure out which... So all the big guys basically made some weapon core weapons, and we can just... let us just take a look. See, the moment I'm scrubbing through how does the weapon core system work, and so I have the Northwind weapons, then I have the MCRN railgun, I think I have the homing weapons, and I have the octobeam laser, and then I think the MA weapons. That's also something that I have. So yeah, MA weapon core systems or weapons, that's the Automacdonna stuff, and Krieg Warfare did that stuff. Sorry for all the German stuff, but it is just, it's a system with different types of weapons. There's some weapons that use ammo, a designator turret, and then heavy laser guns. All need stuff. Then the Northwind weapons, I think that's the railguns. So there's fixed railguns, and then there is some anti-missile laser stuff, and there is really crazy big railgun turrets. MCRN, that's the faux hammer thing, that's the thing on the Donager. I have all the MCRN weapons now. Oh yeah, they changed out the New Guard, I think, did the, and that's Max Packs did some homing missile weapons. The octobeam is also a New Guard, and yeah, again, Automacdonna. And it seems that Krieg had his hand in nearly all of them. The weapons core is done by all these guys: Darkstar, New Guard, Whiplash, and Krieg. Whiplash has stuff out too. I saw a new railgun from Whiplash that doesn't use that stuff. There is an MCRN. Let us just... MCRN, not B, MCRN. There is a new version of the there, the PDC cannon. So I have the PDC cannon for a long time now, but I had the non-weapon core version. Now I have the weapon core version. Change that out. I will test which I like more. That is the normal weapon version. It works like a normal turret. This is good with the weapon core, so that's also new guard. I like the all the MCRN stuff. But let us get out of here. Enough credit. So tested that out. For one, if you have subgrids on your ship, like the truck, for example, you need to have a cockpit where the weapons are. So if you want to have weapons on the trailer, you need a cockpit on there. And if you want to have weapons on the front part, you need a cockpit there. Because basically from the cockpit, you set what the weapons can do. And I hope you can see that, because it's a bit small. See, in the middle of the screen, I have now a way to set the weapons. Let us start from the beginning. So you start out by grouping your weapons. You can basically say, I want all the weapons core weapons. That doesn't count for the normal weapons. So normal weapons don't count here. I have taken the PDX turrets, the two that I have here, grouped them together, and now we can have them as a group and set them in the weapons core menu. That's the weapons core menu. We only see the PDX down there. I hope you can read that, and then we can select that, and then we can modify the weapons, and we can have group settings. I think that is just so. We will go to group settings. The weapons, I don't know, maybe if you have different weapons in the group, I think then you need to, then there is a way to set every single weapon in the group. But I can use the group settings, because I have just the two PDX turrets here, and they are at the moment set up to just target, or they should be set up to just target projectiles. So they target, here you can see that projectiles enabled. They should just target missiles. You can also set them to target biologicals. That's target characters. Meteors, target meteors as usual. Target friendlies, target unowned. They seem to always target enemies. Why shouldn't they? A target painter, I hope that is the thing that makes the how's it called? There were turrets that were used to basically just show other turrets where to aim. Was used for some of the external scripts that you can use for turrets, and I'm pretty sure that's a way to deal with that, where this thing just points at the target and all the other turrets just follow suit and target that thing. Manual control is a way to set up manual weapons, so put them on the hotbar and then you can shoot them from there. Focus target, that seems to be, what did I do now? I turned it off. I have to get used to this. So focus target, I will accept that. It's disable, enable. I don't really know what that is. Maybe it is something for the missile systems. I'm not sure. Maybe I have to set up certain things. It could be that there is things, and we will go in that in a second, where you can set up certain targets. So maybe I will have to do that. So focus subsystems, you can say enabled, and then you can tell it what subsystems. So do you want to have the offense targeted, utility, power, production, Do you want to have thrusters targeted? That way you can tell it to just focus on certain things in the ship. That's a great thing, because I can say I don't want you to jump away, so everything shoots at the jump drive. Kill the gyros. Kill anything. Doesn't really matter. So activated is the weapon enabled. Subsystems, neutral projectiles, biologicals. We saw that. So neat thing. I will test that. If I see more things that work out, then I will let you know how it works, and if I see anything that's new and nice. So here's a guide to it that's in the weapons core thing. There's where is it? Here, the how-to guide. Get in there, and if you're a modder, you can get all the information here. So you can. That's how the menu works, and then again, here are the descriptions. Enabled. So we can say focus target, enabled, disabled. If enabled, weapons will only fire at target instead of other grids of opportunity. Ooh, okay, good. Okay. With that, I can say shoot just that. That's neat, because I can basically also manually target the weapons if I want that. And with that, I can basically say I want this target to be focused, and everything just shoots on this. Nice. That's a great thing. On screen, so you get some infos from the weapons core stuff. That's a neat thing. These are the infos. I can't. I haven't tested it by now. And then keybinds, how you aim, what you do, all that stuff. Neat. And some of the supported weapons. By the way, there's a replacement for all the vanilla weapons too. You want to do that, can set them up just as the normal weapons. They change out. It really changes out the whole thing. Neat. Good. Yeah, that again, the whole thing at the moment is again something. Come on. I'm having issues because I had to change where I open my Steam overlay, and now I have some things where the transparency suddenly changes of things. I don't even know what that is. It seems to be the weapon. Yeah, it is exactly that. So it changes the transparency of the block that I plan on building. So you can see that. This is, I think, all for today. Again, I will have to wait again. Maybe I do some scout trips with the small rovers and wait until the tunnel machine is through the whole thing. I might have chosen a bit of a steeper angle if I don't know. It's very flat after this, so the whole thing will go really, really flat through the ground, and then we'll soon, hopefully, suddenly come up somewhere here and not somewhere back there. But the good thing is, come on. After this, I hope we have done most of the track where we need to drill. So I decided that we will go there and drill our way somewhere up there. And that's just a few kilometers over ground that we should be able to traverse. So after this, there's maybe one more dig site, and then we should be on the plateau and should be able to just drive our way to the North Pole. That's great. Ugh, don't die on me here. Yeah, I will wait and see if something comes in that requires these weapons. Otherwise, I will set up some more. The problem could be that I don't have all the ammo in the world right now, and that I have magnesium. I could produce some, but the thing is, I have now weapons that use ammo again. So maybe I could just produce some and then try to see what the turrets do from the weapons core turrets. I kind of want to see if they work a lot better than everything else I have. The amount of targets that I have to deal with is usually not very high. Having a crazy weapon control system might not be needed for me, but I'm happy to have it. The amount of crazy big weapons is already something. It's kind of funky. These ones are nice. It's good to have some anti-missile turrets basically that just are dedicated towards that. We'll see if they are needed. Good people, I think that's all for today. Bit of a random episode again. Sorry for being relatively inconsistent, but that's sometimes how that works. Good. Thanks for watching, I would say. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, please leave a like on the video. There is all the links in the description to Twitch, to YouTube, to Discord, to Patreon, to everything. Go there, take a look if you're interested in some of these things, and then hope to see you in the next video. See ya, guys.